up? And welcome to Queerify, formerly known as Quest, a journey to wellness, where we help to demystify what wellness means for cutie BIPOC. And I'm V, aka Love Ness Monster. I'm a two-spirit human from the Yaqui and Hopi nations, also Mexican, Filipino human. Some will say I'm a joy influencer, but don't get it twisted. All pronouns are accepted. Don't get it twisted. Some may say, I don't know if that flowed, but we're gonna work with it, y'all. So today we are celebrating wrapping up our 4th season. Yeah, my eyes are widely open, my jaw almost hit the ground. 4 seasons, y'all. Thank you for supporting each and every episode. You've really helped this journey for me and the entire team that creates this show. Like, not only did we start this as a gift to the community, but it's been a gift to us from the community as well, because we've really been able to see a pure example of what community is. And our thing, we say community is the cure. Like, it is so vibrant, and we've seen it even clearer through this podcast. So we believe wholeheartedly that community is the cure. So let's keep taking care of each other, y'all. And in that, I would love to welcome y'all, our newly officially adopted family member into the Queerify family, Gangsta Gurry, he, him, back on for another episode. And in case you're like, who's Gangsta Gurry? He's an author of the Tarot for You and Me Queer Deck and Guidebook, but also host of Mystic Moments podcast. And we've been doing these monthly zodiac readings and have fallen in love. The whole team has fallen in love. So welcome to the family, Gary. We love you dearly, and we're so excited for this month's Cancer season reading / forecast alongside with your tarot pull, because your card be calling us out. Your deck has been calling us out. So it's been really exciting. And also for everyone out there, happy belated Juneteenth, y'all. Happy belated Juneteenth. We're out here trying to celebrate the freedoms and abolishment of slavery. And here we are with today's political climate. No one's happy with it. Juneteenth has become a federal holiday, and now we're taking 5 steps backwards. And if you don't know what I'm talking about all of these protests going on out here because ICE is going crazy. ICE, we don't need the ICE this summer, y'all. But at the end of the episode, we give you some tips just in case you're out there protesting, just in case you may or may not be documented, and whether you're documented or not, just knowing your rights if you're encountered by ICE. We also are going to share some resources also in the show notes as well as in the episode. So without further ado, here is me, V, and Gigi, Gangsta Gurry, the Vajiji. Welcome back to the Vajiji.
Welcome back to the Vajiji, baby. What is going on out here? What is going on out here right now, me?
Right. I wish I had the answers to it because, oh my goodness.
Child, understatement of the century. Honestly, I'm just trying to get through these days. It's crazy out there. It's crazy in here. Okay. And I'm just trying to be as great as I possibly can. And I feel like the universe is trying to assault me and be like, girl, that's not a time to be great. It's a time to work on lessons. And I'm like, oh my gosh, girl, right now, in the midst of all of this, are you serious?
Same. I'm like, I'm trying to be in my Gemini season, my birthday season, not like, I got to go hold my heart in a corner.
Listen, speaking of birthday season, how was your birthday, by the way? Was it lovely? Was it amazing?
It was relaxing because I may or may not have overindulged the day before. and needed
Real.
some relaxing.
Real. It be like that sometimes, happens to the best of us. Listen, speaking from not even a little bit of experience, but a lot of experience. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I just enjoyed some tres leches cake. Leah got me, the producer, and Rafi surprised me with it, and
Shout
some
out.
sideshow burger, and I was good.
Amen. We love that. We love a good filling season. Good for the heart, good for the soul.
Yeah.
But no, I'm thinking about like where we are right now and like what's happening. And I already kind of like started thinking about like what's happening in Cancer season, you know, because Cancer season is like a time where things are mad emotional. It's a lot of stuff like emotionally like taking place with people. And a lot of people are really trying to like come out of their shell and really just like follow their emotions and stuff like that. And I feel like leaving Gemini season and going into Cancer season, we have a lot that's on the horizon. So I found it very interesting. I think we're about to flip it and reverse it, V. You know what that means?
Oh, let's do it. Oh,
Okay.
yes, Missy.
Okay, listen.
Classic.
Okay, I put my thing down, flip it and reverse it. But no, for real, for real. Okay. Did you ever look up those lyrics as a child growing up?
Hell no.
Because you know it's actually just like I put my thing down, flip it and reverse it, said backwards.
In reverse?
Yeah.
Shut the F up. No,
Yeah.
no wonder I didn't know what the hell she was saying.
And also, who am I as a child Googling, what is Missy Elliott saying in reverse? As a child, fully trying to figure that out. Don't know why I remember that piece of information, but it goes to show you where, you know, a lot of my brain capacity is taking up place at this very moment in time. But part of the reason why I say it's a season of flipping it and reversing it is because I know that we just talked about how we were in Gemini season. Gemini season was supposed to be like this high priestessy energy or high priestess energy, like from my deck, like all really just surrounding, like following your intuition, like really like trusting yourself, like really just like being mindful of like the way that you like communicate with yourself and everything like that, and the way that you're communicating with others. And based on my findings right now, I don't know if we did that. Because I like no tea, no shade. I didn't. Okay. I was actually really not that great at it. There was a lot of stuff happening subconsciously. And I was talking cash shit to myself, to be the most like honest about it. And it manifested itself in really like negative ways. And I think that that is what the cards for this month are trying to let us know. So as I was preparing to pull, I was like shuffling my little deck, boop, 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 whatever, whatever. And then all of a sudden, one of the cards just like automatically fell out of it. And it came from the very bottom of the deck. And it was the subconscious card. And that's the way I like think about the card that like shows up like at the very bottom. So it feels like subconsciously we are going through our reverse season of the high priestess. Okay. And what this means is we're not listening to ourselves. We have not been really paying attention to our emotions. We have not been open and honest in the way that we need to be. Some of the things that I wrote as I was like preparing for like the high priestess card was like, this is like your subconscious saying that you're neglecting yourself. You're not honoring your truth. You're basically settling for less in this very moment in time. And I think that that's what Cancer season wants us to be mindful of as we're getting ready to step into it. How are you disconnected from your intuition, or how have you been disconnected from your intuition? Have you noticed any findings in the midst of Gemini season that made you realize that you weren't actually like listening to yourself the way that you thought you should be? Did you experience any of those like instances throughout the last like couple of weeks?
Absolutely. I think that I had a lot of really big things that were happening to a lot of loved ones of mine that it made it, I don't want to say it made it easier for me to avoid myself, but I'm already an avoidant of my own stuff because I'd be ready to show up for somebody else real quick. And I'm not going to call out this elder because I don't want to put this elder's business everywhere just because our elders don't do well with this topic. But I vocalized to this elder like, yo, like this is my patterns, and I found it through therapy. And this elder was like, I think I need to talk to a stranger. I need to like figure my shit out because I have a lot of things I'm too afraid to share with family because I don't want to be a burden. So I think it's not only me, but it's generational of the avoidant behavior because we're so quick to take care of everybody else and even quicker to not take care of ourselves.
Man, oh man, oh man, you said a word right there. Seriously. And I'm glad that that elder allowed themselves to find some clarity in the way that they wanted to like progress forward and actually kind of like get that help and like get that support and like speak about it, because a lot of times like we find a lot of fear in addressing what's real in our lives, even though it takes up so much space. And I think that that's kind of like what this card is like pointing for us to do, is like address those things that we have been stuffing down, things that we want to talk about, things that naturally like arise for us, but we find difficulty in addressing them or bringing other people into the fold because we feel like they won't understand it. And I think another aspect of the High Priestess coming up in reverse is really just like reminding you or forcing you to think about like, you've been unsure about what path to take. And that's mainly because you've been trying to like figure the direction out on your own. And you felt like your intuition was clear enough to be able to make that apparent for you. But everything is done better with friends. You know what I mean? Sometimes we got stuff to do on our own, but sometimes we have stuff to do where we can allow other people to be a part of the journey with us. So that is kind of like what our subconscious is really like screaming at us in the next season, in Cancer season. But our card is going to be represented in the 6 of Flags, and this is coming up in reverse. So this is all about, go ahead, because I see your face. Talk to me.
Is that the 6 of Wands?
That's going to be the 6 of Swords. 6 of Swords in reverse.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Because you had something connect. Go ahead and talk about where that connection was. No, I'm very intrigued.
Oh, just I have a regular that comes by and does tarot for me, and did a pull for my birthday, and it was the 6 of something that kept coming up. Like it kept just falling out of the deck. He kept just shuffling, and he would be like shuffling in between me helping customers and then coming back, and he's like, okay, tell me a number. And every time I wanted to pick a card, it would kept getting interrupted by another customer walking in, and I'd help them, and I'd come back, and every time that 6 of something kept falling out of the deck.
I find it very interesting that it's a 6. So like for me, that kind of like represents like the way that we think about, I think like our community and the way that we like have people like around us and stuff like that. And I do find that very interesting that with the 6 of Flags, it's really about like us feeling trapped. It's really about like us being like resistant to change. And how are we allowing ourselves to move forward? Because when the 6 of Flags is upright, it makes me think about travel. It makes me think about moving on. It makes me think about allowing ourselves to really like transition to like a new place. And I feel like with the 6 of Flags showing up in reverse here, we are scared to do that. And we're going to have to really confront a lot of those fears that we have, a lot of that baggage that we have, a lot of that emotional instability that we have with the people in our lives that need to hear it. So I want to share some of the things that I wrote, if that's okay.
Oh, yeah. Let's hear it.
Okay, perfect. Because normally, just to kind of like set it up for the listeners out there, before we do this, I always like to kind of like write out my thoughts and write out some of the things that stick out to me as far as the card of the season is going to represent. So for this one, I wrote the 6 of Flags reverse as the Cancer season card, resistant to change, feeling trapped, experiencing delays in moving forward. There's a reluctance to letting go of the past. What is causing your state of paralysis? What's making you stuck against trying something new? Then another couple of questions to ponder, like what are you healing and moving on from during this time? And remembering that this is a slow healing period, staying close to home potentially, and figuring some things out instead of being distracted throughout the experience. Because a lot of times when we are like in the midst of like trying to like fix ourselves, we want to distract ourselves with like other things. And I don't think this is the time to do that. I think this is really the time for us to hone in on what we need. I also wrote, you have to confront your feelings towards others instead of stuffing them down. Reassess your current situation and recognize any emotional baggage you are carrying. What helps you gain clarity on your journey ahead, because you cannot run from yourself. And I hate that. I hate that. I hate that so much because I'm an escapist. Like at my core, like honestly, like my Scorpio self loves to escape through terrible ways. And that is something that you cannot do in this season, unfortunately. Because what I've come to terms with is the more that you try to escape it, the more it becomes real.
Pops back up.
And the thing about it is like, it doesn't just pop up in your reality. It starts popping up in other people's realities around you, and they call you out on it, or they start noticing these things. So you're being confronted with your shadows. You're being confronted with your emotional baggage, and you're having to figure out what to do. And the thing about it is like, it's not just your own stuff anymore. It's become other people's stuff as well. So you can't avoid it. Something I wrote down while I was doing my research. It says you could feel trapped in negative thoughts or memories that prevent you from seeing the potential for growth and healing within yourself. This card encourages you to confront those feelings head on and seek clarity so that your emotional landscape and any relationship dynamics can shift towards a more positive direction. So all is to say, there are some tumultuous times ahead. And normally I would like to come on here and be like, oh my God, things are gonna be great. We're gonna be loving, we're gonna be living, it's gonna be fantastic. But like right now it's giving like, no, bitch, you got work to do. And I'm like, why? I just wanted to relax on the beach with a margarita. Like, y'all can't have no margarita on the beach. Like, girl, okay. I guess I'm not having no margarita on the beach no more. That is not a part of my fantasy. I mean, it was a part of my fantasy, but it cannot be a part of my reality. And I think that that is the difficult thing that we are having to accept and having to like make change, like active change towards. But yeah, how does that feel for you as you like hear some of those things?
It hit deep because I feel like it's already showing, it's already existing, because this whole like mirror thing and like shadowing thing to where it's like the people around you are going to be like showing the very thing that you're doing to yourself. And it reminds me of this elder I just brought up, like, and I'm seeing this elder cry. This elder doesn't cry in front of me, but now is like realizing how much of themselves that they are also avoiding, and is just in tears telling me I need to talk to a stranger. And it was just like, holy shit, like if I keep avoiding myself, that is going to be me. I'm going to be like that. And, you know, it was hard to see, but also beautiful to see that they're like, okay, I need to do something about this. But also some of these pains were before I was even in their life or even existed, and it's still hurting them today. And so that avoidantness, like as much as we try to run away from it, as much as we try to escape, it's going to come back up. It's going to get us. And what I shared with this elder was what my therapist told me is that if I keep avoiding this stuff, I'm not arriving as me. I'm only partially arriving. And I don't feel like the people I love deserve just a piece of me, because I'm one of those people, I want to pour all of me in my people. And if I'm holding it back because I'm avoiding me, that's kind of messed up in my mind.
No, you're speaking to my heart, my soul, my everything. No Ariana Grande. Because listen, let's just say that I have been going through some things that I have been like resistant. Actually, no, I want to take that back. Like I haven't been resistant to talk about them. It's just been hard to like figure out how to proceed with these situations. Fully knowing that like they exist, fully knowing that like they require me to feel heavy.
Yeah.
I was talking to my mom today and she was like, "Are you the needy friend?" And I was like, I am. Like, I am. And it's because like that's been kind of like the code of my life. But I've always looked at being the needy friend as a negative. You know what I mean? And it doesn't make you feel good. It does not make me feel good at all. But it also makes me realize that that's not the reality that I want to continue to live in moving forward, because I think that I have also felt a lot of envy and a lot of jealousy of other people's lives and how they get to kind of like live this sense of freedom and this sense of joy and this sense of peace that I don't think that I've ever known.
But let me interrupt you right there.
Go ahead.
This elder, I thought that they were living in peace, they were living in success, they were living all of these positive things. But now I know that they've had this ghost chasing them this entire time.
Mm-hmm.
So I thought they were all of these things in my mind, but they were actually had so much pain sitting behind all of that. So what you may think is unraveling for all these other people that you're seeing, they probably have so much more pain that they've gotten good at hiding, because this elder hid the shit out of that.
Yeah. Real.
And in terms of like being a needy friend, just based off of my own perspective, you are the farthest from needy. I think that you understand what community is because you arrive as much as you say that you're needy. You give and arrive so much more than many people I've known for so long.
Thank you.
So I think that you are a great example of what community is. In a human species, we are a community, social-based species. So you're exuding everything that we're supposed to be, baby. You are not needy.
Thank you. Can I get a gay man? Okay.
Gay man.
Thank you for affirming me with that. And I really could use that today because, yeah, I just feel like I said, emotional baggage, like trying to figure out how to shift relationship dynamics like in a positive direction. While also, I think what you mentioned about the elder is like addressing what's happening at the core and like really doing what you can in order to get support in whatever way that's possible, but knowing that this isn't something that's made to be done by yourself. And I also think it's interesting coming back to you mentioning the six represents community. So I feel like instead of running away from community right now, at least from my interpretation, other people can interpret it however they want. But like it's always stood to me for like the people in your life and your relationship dynamics and stuff like that. And I think that there is some healing that needs to happen in some of our relationships dynamics in the season of Cancer that we either A, already know needs some healing, or B, is going to like slap us in the face in regards to knowing that that's like the thing that we need to do. And I just want us to like be forewarned and pay attention to the fact that community is going to be really important. And as much as you can, as where you need to isolate yourself, do self in order to focus on like your growth. But like this is the time to get the help that you need from the people that you need in order to help yourself not continue to spiral and cycle the same rut over and over and over again. Because that's not fair to you. It's not fair.
And this elder is a Cancer.
Oh yeah. So they're really about to get tagged for real. Especially with the new moon in Cancer. Because new moon in Cancer is at the end of this month. I did write that information out. It's going to be on 6/25/25 at 6:31 p.m. Eastern time, 3:31 p.m. or a.m. What was I about to say? Pacific Standard Time. Child, I don't live over there, so I never have to say that. So I was a little stuck on how to say Pacific Standard Time. But this kind of like brings like emotional fluctuations, forgive and forget, in order to avoid depression is some of the major like information to be mindful of there. And then we also have the full moon in Capricorn taking place on 7/10 at 4:36 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 1:36 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. It says trust your inner values. Do not seek approval from outside sources. You may underestimate what you want from yourself. Because a lot of the times I can only speak for myself here. I think I thrive off of like external validation. I hate to admit that, or like look for that to like be validated as like me being enough, or, you know what I'm saying? Like me being myself. And I think that this is the perfect time for us to know, we have to know within ourselves that we are worthy. We are deserving. Even when we mess up, we still deserve love. Even when we make mistakes or unintentionally hurt others, Like, we still deserve love. And I think that that's what cancer season is trying to like force us to recognize, that even in your darkest hour, even at your lowest, you are still deserving. And you are still deserving of people around you.
Period. And I think it might be a little crazy of me to think this, but I feel like a lot of the cancers in my life who are big pivotal characters and big important people in my life, that I've often had to teach them about unconditional love, because they can hold a grudge.
Cancer father, definitely get it.
Oh, I got one of those too.
We see each other.
Shoot, and my sister.
Ooh, child, that's a lot.
Yeah.
A lot of emotion for Sage.
And our producer of this podcast.
Happy birthday, Leah, in advance. It's going to be an amazing time.
Period. I mean, as long as you're not running away from these feelings.
Right. As long as you say what you need to say and feel what you need to feel, baby, you'll be fine. But I wanted to think about this cancer season as like being the moon child, right? When you think of the moon, you think about your emotions, you think about the ebb and flow, you think about motherhood, you think about family of origin, you think about home. When you think about those themes, what do you define those as? What do you define home as? What do you define safety as? What do you define like healthy emotional like awareness as? And I think that this is like the perfect time for you to really just like not be stubborn, be stimulated. Okay? Allow yourself to like receive and like help direct yourself on the path the next way. You know what I mean? But cancer season is saying strap in, not strap on. Okay? Period.
I mean, all I keep thinking in my head is just like, what's the easiest way to break that stubbornness?
Woo! That's a good question. But what I will say to that is, don't you ever get sick and tired of being sick and tired?
Oh, shit. I lost my headphones on that one.
It's the truth, though. Like, don't you get sick and tired of being sick and tired? And like, when you're sick and tired enough of something, you will do something to fix it.
That's one of my dad's famous lines when I was with toxic women. He's like, when you're done, you'll know.
Yeah. Gag it. Okay. Gag it. Because that's the truth.
Yeah. And I've carried that with it. Mostly everything in life. When you're done, you will know.
Yeah. Ooh. I needed that. Because like, let's just say there's something happening in my background where I'm like, I'm so tired. And I've been like tired for like a really long time of this. But like something happened recently to make me just be like, I can't live like that anymore. You know what I mean? Like, and I think, not even just I think, I know I deserve better. And people have been like pouring that into me for a long time, but I've been resistant to hear it because of my stubborn ass and thinking that I'm unworthy or whatever. And listen, this is not the season for that, y'all. Like, receive the love that's being poured into you, especially during this time, because you're going to need it. We're all going to need it. It's rough out here.
Yeah, that's true. And I feel like the way we're going to go through is together, not individual. I think that individual mindset is what's dying right now.
Yeah.
And community is coming back. It's no kings, if I must say it. Like just the focus on that dog eat dog kind of mentality. That mentality is dying. And the community is thriving.
Yes, exactly.
What you mean?
Exactly. It's not for some people are not ready to like let go of that dog eat dog mentality. You know what I mean? But there are people that are. And I think that those are the folks that we should be focused on finding community with right now. Instead of feeling like we don't have to fight, we don't have to argue, we are not in contention with one another. We should be supporting one another. We should be loving one another. Like, it's already difficult out here.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Like just the sharing of the resources, the sharing of knowledge, and there's not all I don't know why I keep wanting to say bookkeeping, but the gatekeeping.
Yes.
You know, I feel like gatekeeping is starting to die off as well.
Which is good.
And like, I'm
It's
seeing
necessary.
people sharing it. Yeah, they're like, we need to keep this going. Like, somebody's got to learn it. And if it's not in my family, I'm going to teach it to somebody else. Like, I'm seeing a lot of that happening.
Amen.
Just, I mean, around me, and I guess in my bubble. I don't know if that's the same for you on that coast.
Yeah, I was about to say, it's definitely the same over here. I think that what it boils down to is the acceptance of it instead of the resistance of it right now. No need to fight. Why we gotta fight? Why we gotta argue? I don't want to do that anymore.
Right.
I'm tired of hurting. I'm tired of fighting. I'm tired of living like this. Can you come up with something else? So how about we come up with something else and try something brand new? Like, I can get jiggy with that. I also know that, like, whatever is about to happen is probably going to be better than what actually was happening. So I'll take it.
Yeah, it's really exciting to just see all of the movement, not only in the spiritual world, but in the political world. Like 614, that was insane. The entire nation was out there on them streets. Not
That's
the entire,
crazy.
but a lot of
A lot of people.
a lot of the nation.
Yeah, and ironically enough, I was in the middle of DC in the middle of all of that. So you can only imagine what the energy was giving there. Because that was where that parade that was taking place this weekend. Crazy vibes. Crazy vibes. Crazy.
Yeah. It was all over San Francisco, Oakland, and freaking, I was seeing all over social media everywhere. And I love that people are standing up for this, because I've used to work in this little city, not this little city, this little area in San Francisco called The Mission. And we used to have informational stuff or like fundraisers and things like that, just helping to educate folks on their immigration status and all of that. And I was at a bar called El Rio. They would have a lot of events that was helping towards it. And to see now all of it on a national scale is just, it's beautiful. It's beautiful to see. Because I didn't see this when the wall was coming up. There was people protesting, but it wasn't even that big of a deal. But now, like, I'm seeing the country mobilizing action is beautiful.
Yeah. And it shows we can do it. It's been done before. That's how things have been changed.
Without social media, it has been done before.
Correct.
So
So imagine what it can be now. Hope.
I'm excited.
That's actually what I would like to leave us on as far as like cancer season is like going, the power of positivity and the power of like positive thinking, because this is a time where you can manifest literally anything that's like happening in your personal world into reality. What do you want that to look like? Do you want it to be a struggle, or do you want it to be a support? You get to choose. And then you get to extend that to other people in your life as well that need that support. It's a time. What a time to be alive.
Yeah, absolutely. And speaking of being support, like I really wanted, well, the team wanted, we wanted to be able to share some resources for folks just in case, you know, they're out there in public, at home, in the car, you know, or they're protesting, and kind of give some people a little bit of direction on how to respond in case, you know, ICE tries to take you or question you or anything like that. and just wanted to share resources. And we're definitely going to throw some of those in the show notes. But I thought that we could share a couple things for some folks. Just, I don't want to say basic things because you would think they're basic, but a lot of people don't know that you have the right to say and do many of these things that we've listed out if we want to go through those.
I love that. What do you have on deck?
If you're pulled and you're in public, you have the right to remain silent. But you could verbally say it, like, I want to remain silent and I want a lawyer. And you don't have to say nothing. You don't have to talk about your status, nothing. And if they come to your home, do not open the door unless they show you a judicial warrant. And that looks like what it says on the top will be like official, like it'll say like United States District Court warrant. If it says a detainer warrant, that's some fake ass shit. Don't open the door. And on that warrant, though, it has to say your full government name. Like, it has to say your government name. But also, if they pull you over in the car, you're allowed to ask whether they're police or if they're immigration.
Okay.
You're allowed to ask that. And still, again, they are not allowed to come into your house or your car or search you in any of those situations and without that warrant, without that judicial warrant. And also, if you're out there and you're protesting and you're filming, make sure you're trying to get some of these badge numbers. Try to, even though I know it's kind of dangerous to be in front of them because they're targeting people with cameras, but if you're able to get some badge numbers, get, these car license plates, and if anything can happen, if any of that is accessible. But I could keep going, but I'm just going to leave it at that and then allow you to share some things if you got some.
Yeah, I was going to say, remember, you can always say that you want to remain silent. You want a lawyer. You can also be mindful of, if you are a non-citizen, speaking only to a lawyer about your status. You don't need to sign anything without full understanding as well. And also just know that you can ask for an interpreter if needed, if you are in a situation like that. The other things to just be mindful of is you do have the right to record. So don't let them make you feel like you do not. Save your footage. ICE cannot force you to unlock your phone unless there is a warrant or a court order. So be mindful of that as well. And then make sure that you share this information with other people, letting people know when ICE is nearby, making sure you don't open the door, and sharing some of these little things that we have shared today would be, I think, of great benefit to other people who may not know this information. Because I know for me, this was a lot of new information to come into, but it's of course, as soon as I gather this stuff, I want to make sure that I'm passing it on. So we hope that that helps in some way, shape, or form in the midst of all the injustice that we are experiencing as people living here in this country at this very moment in time. Because this feels surreal. It feels surreal that this is happening in real time, along with everything else that's happening, in people's personal lives. So it's a lot to juggle. So be as kind to yourself as possible during this time period. Be as kind to others as you can. Like we said, community is going to be really important, and it's going to show up in various ways. So just lean into it the way that feels the most appropriate for you in this season.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well said. And also, I totally forgot about that one, that do not sign anything. Mm-hmm. It's so important. Do not sign anything without a lawyer.
Yeah.
Telling you, what's up.
True too.
Because I'm saying some of these stories, but I'm not even gonna get all into that. But I love that, sharing this with everyone and anyone you can, information, because a lot of people are getting taken advantage of and don't even know their basic rights. Because everyone has rights, whether you have status or not.
Absolutely. And we're just sending you all prayers of protection, prayers of gratitude. and just setting like those best positive intentions that we can to just like protect all of those that need protection in this very moment right now, because it is very scary to live here in this very moment in time. So sometimes we all we got, and we got to make the most of it. You know what I mean?
Period.
Mhm.
Yep.
Cancer season. Boy, oh boy.
Right. And also, I don't know if any of y'all know, but we take a summer break every summer. And this is the last episode until our summer break. And y'all want Gary back, let us know. You want the Vajiji to continue, hit us up in a review, in a rating, and something like that on our socials. Blow us up. Let us know.
Please. It's been such a fun a part of this with you and do these forecasts for the last couple of months. It's been such a joy. It also is great for me because I feel like it helps me to like strap in spiritually to know what's getting ready to come like down the pipeline. And sometimes, you know, I'm really not that great at listening to my own advice. So it's always great to receive advice from somebody else in the same token. And be like, okay, sister, here you go. Like, listen to this because it's going to actually be helpful for you. So yeah, thank you for being a blessing. Thank you for Queerify being a blessing and everybody that is involved in it. And it's truly been a gift to be able to do this for these last 6 months with you all.
Absolutely. You've been a gift. And I hope we can even continue these in our summer.
Right.
For ourselves. Personally, I'm like,
who knows? We'll have to have a private kiki, a little private kiki, okay? Like, let me tell you what the tea is for this summer, okay? So we'll definitely have to do that offline. I would love that.
Yeah. Oh, I love you so much. And thank you for showing up for community, showing up for us. And I'm excited for you to show up for you.
Listen, you're right. And that is something that I struggle with, but I have to like actively do that right now because if I don't, it's no bueno, okay? No good. And I need all the good. I need as much good as I can get right now. Jupiter is in Cancer. They did say that it's supposed to be like a good time for us and everything like that. This is my Jupiter return. I will say that like the first week of Jupiter in Cancer for me, it's like right here. But they said it's supposed to get better, so I'm going to keep my fingers crossed because that's all I can do.
Yeah, same. And since you said that, I'll do the same as well, and I'll start showing up for me as well, because you know I be showing up for everybody so easily, and I want us to have a new record for next season.
Amen. Come on, accountability buddies. That's what I'm hearing right now.
Hell yeah.
I feel it.
I like that.
It's the Gemini Scorpio. You already know what's up. That's how we do.
You already know.
Thank you for having me again. Thank you for this episode. And thank you to everybody that's listened to this. Please share this with somebody that you think would benefit from this information, would benefit from this forecast. And hopefully I'll be able to see you in the near future. But if not, I send you love. I send you gratitude. I send you thanks for allowing me to be a part of your life, a part of your world right now. And thank you to everybody that has made this possible. I love you all.
Ditto. Like, I love y'all too. I'm getting all warm and fuzzy.
Right, exactly. We always do. Oh my gosh.
Tap that follow button. Give us a 5-star rating and review. And hey, your review might end up on the show. This podcast is organically grown by Rafaela Landestoy, Leah Jackson, and myself, V. Vasquez. Editor and sound designer, Leah Jackson of Puka Puka Creative. Original music produced by Basque. His music is amazing. And emotional support by our fur babies, Nugget and Pukalani.
It's so crazy to feel like everything is telling you to go inwards, and then it's summer. It just makes no fucking sense.
Yeah.
It's like so rude. It's so rude.
This is the time I'm supposed to be out and about, shaking my toto, like, and you got me in the house trying to work on my healing. Like, girl, this is the absolute opposite of what I envisioned. Like, for real, for real.